Morning, guys.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Let me tell you what's going on here. So I got home, you'll see, we have adventure hats today because we're off on an adventure. I got home from work yesterday and I was informed we're off on an adventure this weekend. We're staying away from home overnight. I have no idea what we're doing. It's my birthday weekend, Saturday the 21st of March. My birthday is Tuesday. So I guess I had planned to work on the house this weekend. I had planned to move the chicken coop, get some garden stuff started. Apparently we're not getting any of that done. So all I know is she's going to give me the addresses for the places we're going, and I'm going to drive there.
Yep.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where it's at, other than it's less than 3.5 hours away. So we're gassing up the car. We got our oldest and youngest with us. And so fill them in. What's going on here without telling me too much detail?
So I have, for today, a list of, I think, 5 or 6 addresses. I don't remember. That's going to fill our day. For his birthday weekend, everything was kind of curated for him, of course. All of his lights.
So we're not going antiquing?
No antiquing, unfortunately. I thought about sneaking that in.
I had planned antique this weekend.
If we have time to kill, because there is a possibility of that, then
maybe
one of the addresses is, well, technically one of them's a downtown area, which has a variety of things on there, so including antique places. But no, this has all been curated. I've been working on this for 2 months, and keeping a secret is horrible.
I was none the wiser. Not a clue.
I asked him a lot of questions, even though he's like, do whatever you want. It's always do whatever you want, and that's what I've done. But it's all curated towards him. It is currently 8:20. Our first location is 45 minutes away, and the first one is actually just kind of a time killer, but it's still be a good time.
So yeah, we're filling up with gas now.
Yep.
If you haven't, you enjoyed this stuff, we did the 30-day grocery shopping that's doing really well here on YouTube, and I'm 3 weeks late on posting the last one, but that goes up tomorrow on Sunday because I was dying for 2 weeks after we filmed that. It was not a great time, and I got an update video on the house to show you guys everything we're getting ready for spring. But
Yeah.
Don't forget to like the video, leave us a comment, maybe subscribe, that'd be cool.
Yep.
And we're filling up with gas, and we're going to get on the road to somewhere to do something. See you when we get there.
All right, we made it to stop 1. We are at Route 66, the Nut House. Just a cute little shop out here. We're in Claremore, right?
We're in Catoosa.
Catoosa.
So we just passed the port of Catoosa, the U.S.'s most inland blue water port. So just super cool thing that's here in Oklahoma. But yeah, we're at the Nut House. I guess the place we're actually going to is just not open yet.
We're
So
in
this
Claremore. My address is Claremore.
well, maybe Catoosa is the other side of the bridge where the port is. I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah,
He likes nuts.
I like nuts. We're gonna go in here. It looks like they also have a Hot Mama's sandwich deli inside the Nut House.
So
They have sliced meats and cheeses, and that thing. Also, the News on 6 storm chasers parked over there. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but we're gonna go in here and check some stuff out and burn some time before our next stop. All right, so that place is pretty cool.
they had a whole restaurant in there if you went far enough back.
Yeah, they do sandwiches and salad and soups.
Yeah.
And they have a big sitting area back there. I couldn't record anything in there. I got some clips, but I couldn't record any like talking or anything in there because they're just playing copyrighted music just everywhere. So, but what'd you pick up?
We got, actually they're not labeled, butter pecan cluster and a pretzel cloud.
Got some peppercorn ranch pretzel sticks. I got a good old fashioned cherry balls.
She apparently thought that was funny. Drake got a root beer candy stick.
Some rock candy.
And here's the dilemma: is there's so many different varieties of nuts that he struggled. I knew this was going to be a good stop.
There's lots of candy coated nuts. They had some red chocolate covered cherries in there. All sorts of stuff.
And we ended up with a rosemary oregano mix.
Yeah.
Metro mix.
So we got some snacks for the road. It's weird. They also Route 66 RV is also built out of the same building. So like their parts and repair department is here. It's
Yeah.
kind of strange. So yeah, we're about to get back on the road here in just a minute to our next stop because they're open now. I'll let you know what it is when we get there.
Let's go.
All right, well,
So
we
next
have
stop.
made it to our next stop. We're about 15 minutes up the road. We're at the J.D. Davis Gun Museum. J.M. Davis Gun Museum.
And so this is, I want to say it was the biggest private owned collection. So like only one person owns this.
So that's pretty cool.
Everything in
I always thought that was interesting. Folks that own so many of something that they just start a museum so they can write it off on their taxes. So we're going to go in here and see if they'll let me film and check out some guns.
Well, I've seen TikToks about the place, so I would assume so, but we'll see.
Also, there's a cool Explorer van just pulled up. That's pretty nifty. All right, I'm going to get in some trouble. All right, well, we got a lot going on in here. She wants some revolver lamps, I guess. So this is we've made it around to the front of the building where it's under construction right now in the entrance, which is a recreation of the Mason Hotel that the gentleman that used to own all these guns, he's passed, that he bought and owned, and that's where his collection started until it got to a critical mass point where he had to move it to somewhere else because there was 3,000. But they were displaying guns like this, these big wall pieces in the lobby and coffee shop of, this is a picture of the entrance to the coffee shop, and you can just see those guns just both sides of the wall. The man owned a ton of rent houses during the Great Depression and would often be paid rent in old guns and was buying guns on the cheap because he was wealthy during the Great Depression. So he had to limit himself to $3,000 a month in gun buys and often traded those guns that he got as payment back out to buy more guns. So there's a lot going on in here. There's a Finnish anti-tank rifle over here. Shoots a 3,000 grain projectile. Pretty cool. So we're gonna head out in here and see what else we find. this was the last thing for us to check. So that was what? We were there for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Two and a half hours, and we probably could have spent another hour at least. There's a bunch we didn't look at. Bunch of shotguns. And there was another section in the middle, but they did have a really cool section on rifle barreling, or barrel rifling, which is something I do at work, which is super cool. It's so vastly different now using a CNC machine to do it versus doing it with a hand-drawn, wood-carved guide. Yeah, just fascinating. All sorts of cool stuff in there. Most of it's like War on Terror time frame. Pre-90s, a lot of it. I don't think I saw a lot of things that was post-90s in there. There's a few things.
Well, they're doing a whole new section that's closed off right now on American Revolution. So I would assume that that stuff will integrate back into that. It may have gotten pulled because there were several rows. And it's one of those rows upon rows upon rows.
Let's get away from this road. The gentleman who owned this collection died in '78 and is actually entombed in that building with his wife. And there's only one other place in Oklahoma that exists, and that is the Will Rogers Museum with Will Rogers and his wife, which is interesting that there's bodies in a tomb in there. But yeah, we could have spent many more hours in there. We're getting hungry. Time for lunch. So I guess the place they had picked for lunch is actually an hour and a half away. So they've switched it up a little bit because it is now 12:45, and I've had a protein shake this morning.
Well, and we have some really good options. So he gets to pick our dinner out of 3 options in the area we're going to be. So, but I want us to be able to enjoy dinner and not to be overly full.
Yeah.
Also about this place, it is a Route 66 historic location, and they only take donations.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
Yes, so they only take donations.
There goes my 21-year-old asking the police officer for a sticker also.
Can you grab me one too, Bubby?
No. Yes, he has a weird, do I have a sticker?
Yeah, he loves him a police department sticker.
But Route 66 location, they only take donations. We highly recommend. It's kind of off the beaten path in Claremore. We got off the main road. We're not even on Route 66 anymore.
Yeah, Route 66 is over there.
Right
it's that way. So there's also Planet Fitness if you're into that kind of thing. And Stillwater Milling Company is right here. So anyway, we are going to get on the road.
That's something else he asked.
No, he's asking for a sticker, I hope. Anyway, we're going to get on the road to go get some lunch in about 45 minutes.
Yes.
And make our way to whatever's next. I don't know. I'm getting an address. All right, well, I was a little concerned we were lost there for a few minutes because we were just in the middle of a pasture, but we are at Nowhere Barbecue Route 66 in Afton, Oklahoma.
Yep. So it was easier for me to find something knowing that Route 66 goes all the way to our destination, so I could just look up places to eat on Route 66 and then pick something I knew everybody would be happy with. So luckily,
that's barbecue.
Without a barbecue.
Who doesn't love barbecue? All right, well, hopefully you can hear me over the train, but got me a smoked Reuben with potato salad. We got a big old chili cheese dog. Yeah, they got Eagle fries. It's basically a cheeseburger on top of fries with no bun. Just a ton of mustard, ground beef, pickles, lettuce, tomato, onions, and ranch on fries. So it's looking pretty good. Excited about it. All right, that was good lunch.
It was excellent. I like finding these little hole-in-the-wall places, and this is like a little hole-in-the-wall place.
Yeah, most definitely hole in the wall. Reuben was good. They used smoked brisket for it, which was an interesting change of pace. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. It was the right amount of food. Came out to about $13 a person.
Yep.
And it wasn't so much food that I'm stuffed because we're going out to dinner tonight. So we're getting back on the road, headed to our next destination. Got an hour and a half drive from here.
What did we try? We tried boudin balls. We were trying to find things that we would
Oh yeah,
normally.
we had some of the appetizers.
Yeah, we had boudin balls, which I knew Damien wouldn't really like because of a texture thing. It's kind of a mushy cornbread type texture. But I thought they were excellent.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I had 2. They were good.
And then we had 2 different rooster balls. One of them had cheddar jalapeno wrapped in chicken, and the other one was ham and cheese,
Ham and Swiss wrapped in
chicken. That one was excellent.
Yeah.
The other one was kind of spicy for me, so
I enjoyed
but
both.
it was still good.
I enjoyed all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So it was good. A good sweet tea, and then canned sodas, and a patio to sit on. So that's good. We like a patio.
Right.
Especially on a nice day like today. It's like, where are we at now? 88 degrees out right now. Yep. So we're going to get back on the road.
In the
See
middle of
y'all
nowhere.
an hour and a half once we get all these big old cornfields. All right. We've made the trip. And I figured it out on the road once I saw the sign saying where we were headed based on mileage. And we are at Johnny Morrison Center. We are at the home of Bass Pro Shops.
Yep.
And we are staying in the Bass Pro Shops Hotel across the street. So tell them how we ended up here.
Well, he's been wanting to go for what, 6 months is when you probably started talking to me about it. And I just started looking, and then one night I just booked the hotel. And so, because the rule is we can pretty much do anything in 3 hours away for next year's travels. Well, I thought we'd give it a shot this year, and for his birthday, of course. So we have a room in the Angler's Lodge, and then we're gonna go hang out in Bass Pro, and then he's gotten some options for dinner that we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna get checked in. But yeah, we're at Bass Pro Shops here in Springfield, Missouri, the home of the Bass Pro. All right, so before we take off to wherever she's taking me to next, let me show you all this room real quick. There's not a ton to see. You know, it's just a basic room. They do a bunch of amenities, which is cool. I love to see that. We got teas and coffees and stuff in the room. There's a closet over here. The ironing board, ice bucket, blow dryer, air conditioner, and 2 beds. Little shower tub. Unfortunately, it looks like the pool and spa is closed for maintenance today, which is super unfortunate because I was really hoping to get to use the hot tub because I love a hot tub. I'm going to end up just having to buy one for the house, I guess. But we're headed off on our next adventure, and then we're headed to the Bass Pro, and then we're going to eat dinner in the Bass Pro. So I'm going to go catch them because they're already headed to the car. All right, well, we are wandering down what appears to be some sort of main street. There's all sorts of odds and ends and things. There's a Lebanese place down there, coffee shop. There's a bicycle museum. That's nifty. There's a farmer's market there. Apparently, they didn't realize that the gun museum was going to take 2.5 hours. So had we spent the hour there they expected to spend, there was a farmer's market we were going to be able to hit when we got here. But there is a coffee and tea shop up here that we're actually over here to visit. Kind of burning some energy, burning some time, burn off some lunch before we go to dinner and head over to Bass Pro to explore down there. Oh, that smells delicious. Maybe we should have a slice. It's a very good smelling pizza right there. So, yeah, we're just going to meander around downtown over here, see what we can find. See what kind of trouble I can get us into. I gotta start recording first.
We found a tea shop, guys. Well, I actually knew that we were looking for a tea shop because he had just run out of the peach tea that we bought in Colorado last year. And we tried to hit up local spots. So we found a tea and spice place and got some goodies.
Yeah, we picked up a couple of different teas. I got a black dragon green tea that's caffeinated, and then a cherry non-caffeinated to drink in the evenings. Trying to keep my head in the way of the sun here. And then she picked up a couple of spice blends. I think it was an eggs breakfast blend and a pizza blend, and there was another one, pork chop and steak. Yeah.
And it has tarragon, which is one of my favorite things to cook with because it gives it such a sweet flavor that'll mix real well with sea salt.
Yeah. So, and then Drake picked up some honey sticks. But now we are headed over to the old Bass Pro Shop. I'm excited for that. All right. Made it over to my birthday stop at the Bass Pro Shop. So we're, looks like the closest doors to where we parked is going to be the Tracker Boat Center, which I hate that. I'm just going to have to go in here and look at some boats. Oh, what a terrible way to start my visit to Bass Pro Shops. Now it is 5:49, so I'm figuring we're going to eat dinner around 7, and they close at 9. So hopefully we can see the whole store. We'll see what happens. I got my battery pack on my phone because it's starting to die, but I'm excited to be here. The granddaddy of all outdoor stores.
National headquarters.
I don't know if anybody's told y'all, but this place is kind of a big deal. Alright, so here's why this is cool for me. Today, or Tuesday, will be my, what am I, 28 now? Yeah, 28th birthday. And we're here to sell, 38, yeah, 38th birthday, sorry. And we're here at the Springfield, Missouri Bass Pro Shop. I came here for my 5th birthday with my parents and had dinner in this same restaurant for my birthday. And my mom has a story of, I was super tired by the end of the day when we got here for dinner. And I was sitting in one of the high back chairs. There's none out here anymore, and I don't know where they are. But, and I was falling asleep and nodding my head. And I realized it slammed my head back into the chair, made a huge racket. Everybody in the restaurant looked at me, and I was super embarrassed, whatever. And then they brought me for my birthday, instead of cake, they had a chocolate lobster with little candles lit in its claws. So Damien told him it's my birthday, so I'm kind of hoping they bring me another chocolate lobster. I think that'd be sick. But yeah, we're sat down. I'm having a steak with whatever the hell they call that stuff. Salad, cheese, I'm tired. And we ordered some duck balls. Or we ordered some bacon wrapped duck poppers. So just waiting on food now. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I've had a great time. We've been here for over an hour now, meandering around, looking at all this stuff. It's unfortunate that every single place we've been to today is playing music way too loud, so I'll have to voice over everything. But other than that, I've had a great day. Alright, so we got our duck poppers. So we got jalapeno with chopped up duck, cream cheese in it, and then there's bacon on it, and barbecue sauce, and it's served with fried onions. They're pretty good. There's a little bit of spice there, but that's delicious. Alright, well this looks amazing. I got my steak,
Bison meatloaf.
bison meatloaf,
Bison
burger, and the pick two with coconut shrimp and catfish, and mac and cheese. Beautiful.
we made it back to the hotel. Found us somewhere to sit. We're out in this little alcove, a little table covered in somebody's kid's mess that they left.
Yeah. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we just got back.
It's been a busy day. We left the house 12 hours ago.
Mm.
Drove to Missouri. Went and fiddle farted. We did the nut house. We did the gun museum. Then lunch at the barbecue place. Nowhere. We went nowhere for lunch. And then we drove up here to Springfield, and we just got out of, went to the tea store, and then we went into Bass Pro, and we spent, 3 hours in there almost? Something like that.
Yeah, because we got there at about 6,
So.
and we left just a few minutes before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because that's when they closed. So yeah, we had dinner there at Hemingway's Blue Water Cafe.
Yeah. It's
And
delicious.
it was really good. Did have to salt green beans, but we've kind of determined that places like that don't salt a ton of their vegetables because some people may not want super salted. So they kept it on the table, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yep. And then we went and walked through the firearms collection there. Seen a lot of
And the
firearms
archery
collections today.
museum.
And the archery museum. It was super cool too.
Yeah.
Checked all that stuff out, and now we're going to go and get some showers in and get in the beds, get some sleep. Tomorrow we have breakfast here at the hotel. They have a buffet for breakfast downstairs in their cafe. And then we're going to, what's the other?
The Wilson's Creek National Battlefield. We are going to walk their big trail, which consists of, I think, all of the trails, as our hike, which is, I think, 5.1 miles
And 400-foot elevation.
at 442 increase in elevation. I found it on All Trails, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll have multiple stops. So All Trails says it's gonna take 2 to 3 hours, but considering the stops, not depending on how long we stay there, I don't know if it could take up to 4 hours. And then we have a stop for lunch, and then we're gonna head home.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get out of here around 9-ish. Get over there. It's only 20 minutes maybe up the road. It's not far.
Not even that, I don't think.
Yeah. So we're gonna shoot up there, hit the, do that, and then we have a stop about an hour from there that she has picked out for lunch, where we were supposed to eat lunch today, but I spent too long at the firearms museum.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then from there, it's another 45 minutes to the house from there. We'll be home for the weekend. So
No, it's an hour and a half.
hour and a half from there.
Yeah.
She said 42 earlier, but however long
No,
it
it's
takes.
42 minutes from here,
Oh, okay.
an hour and a half from home.
There it is. So anyway, it's been a busy day.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get some rest, and we'll see you guys in the
Morning. So we just finished breakfast. That was delicious. Had biscuits, gravy, sausage, eggs, bacon,
Had a bagel.
a bagel, a couple kinds of bagel in there, cereal, and 4 different cereals, 3 different kinds of oatmeal, and a pancake machine. Damien over there loves him a Texas-shaped waffle. And I had joked this morning before we came up, well, maybe they have Missouri-shaped waffles, and they didn't. They had a pancake machine. So we just had delicious breakfast, and we have mostly been gotten ready. Drake's not ready for the day yet, but
We got a pack.
yeah, we got to pack our stuff up, get it in the car. It's just after 8. The park doesn't open till 9 that we're going to hike, so we got about 45 minutes before we need to.
Well, the visitor center
Yeah.
opens at 9, and we want to hit that and make sure we get any maps or anything like any information before we start.
Yeah, so we're gonna hang out in these nice little rocking chairs we found outside for a few more minutes, and then we are gonna hit the road, head up there to the battleground, and go check that out. But in the meantime, between time, see you then. Alrighty, guys. So we are at Wilson Creek battlegrounds. I don't know what battle happened here. The Battle of Wilson Creek, I guess.
I think it's the very first one of the Civil War.
So we're going into the visitor center now. See what they got to say. There is some cannons in there. That's cool. We're gonna figure out how to hook one of those up to the van and take that home with us. Kansas Nebraska Act 1930. The Bleeding Kansas. I don't know what any of these things mean. Oh, Dred Scott decision. I've heard of that one. Harper's Ferry. Anyway. Yeah, we're gonna head in here and see if they got a map for us. See what's going on, and then we're gonna go hit this 5.1 mile hike before we head back home to get ready for our week. All right, we are off onto this trail. My wife is navigating with her map. She's not got a great track record so far today, when she looked this place up on All Trails, it specifically said, don't follow your GPS because it will get you lost. Turn into the parking lot. Well, after we passed the parking lot, she let us know that information so we could go a mile or so up the road so we could find somewhere to turn around and come back. So just so you know, you ever come out here, turn into the parking lot, don't follow your GPS. But right now it looks like we're walking to a big picnic area. Lots of grills and picnic tables. It says National Park, it's free. So that's awesome. Got a big group seating area with a pavilion. Love to see that. And this will be the first place we visited since we left the house that's not playing music and I can record. We have found a cannon. And there's no parking at this first cannon, so if you're not walking, you don't get to stop and check it out. Yep, first thing my son does, stick his head in it. That is rifled.
Yeah.
What was that? Mm-hmm. This is how you change the angle. We love us a deer. Oh, you're good and healthy. Yeah, little 2-year-old. Yeah. The funny thing, once you get up towards the northern half of our country, you get into rock-based rivers instead of clay or sand-based rivers that we're accustomed to. And you get clear water.
This is nice. Can I stay here?
Nope.
So this is nice. Can I stay here?
All right, well, we made it down to the Gibson Mill site. It was a mill here during the battle. Survived the battle and burned down some years later, apparently. The sounds of this creek are just glorious, though. And it's been a nice walk. We're about to head back towards the road to get back onto the loop, I believe. So, yeah. 1876, there was a mill where I'm standing, providing wheat to all the surrounding community, which is kind of crazy. We're talking about now Damien can summon wheat in a bag ground into flour to his front door. Doesn't even have to leave home. He used to have to grow it, cut it, dry it, and drag it to the mill to get your flour. Crazy. All right, well, we bailed on the hike and we made it 1.2 miles. Then me and Drake turned around, went back, got the van. We're gonna drive the rest of the way. It's a 5-mile route. We're just not quite ready for it yet, and it was taking us way longer than expected. It's already 11. So we still have to drive back to Oklahoma today. But we're at the Bray House now, which is interesting because the battle happened in that field right there. So the gentleman that owned this house stood on that porch and watched the battle happen through that tree line clearing right there. That's kind of crazy. I don't think we can go into the house, but we're gonna go check it out. It looks like the house actually became a hospital. That's cool. Big old bald eagle flying around us. Anyway, there's a great view of the battlefield. That whole field of these trees would have been here at the time, obviously. But from this overlook hill, 10,000 soldiers died in that field. All right, so this is the top of Bloody Hill. This is the last stop here at the Wilson's Creek battlefield. And look, that clearing right there is the house that we started at earlier, or we were at earlier, where they watched the battle that happened all the way through this valley. So this was the second battle of the Civil War, the first battle in Missouri, and the place, it's actually down at that. See, so it'll be that valley right over there is where they found the body of the first Union general to die during the war. Approximately 3 hours into the battle, he was lost to the battle. So this is our last stop here. Next up, she's going to give me one more address for this trip, and it's for a restaurant that we're going to have for lunch. We've been here for coming up on 4 hours. Yeah, 1:05 now, so we've been here just shy of 4 hours. Didn't walk the whole thing. Had we walked the whole thing, we'd be dead and nowhere near as far along as we are. But this has been phenomenal. It's beautiful. It was a perfect day for this out here. So we're going to get on the road to this next location and finish this day up. And there's our last surprise. We are at the Hangar Cafe out in the giant field at an airport in the middle of Missouri, halfway home. So
We have 2.5 hours from here. We are not halfway home. This was our planned stop for yesterday at lunch, but that didn't work out. So we stopped now, and this place is really cool.
if you can hear me over the wind, there's some crop duster right there. There's a sky tractor. There's all sorts of old equipment. Yeah. So we're gonna head into the Hangar Cafe and grab us some lunch. Old Studebaker.
You use quarters, you get a penny. She's like a terrible trade-off. I thought you put pennies in there. It's not what you're penny.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, that is a good looking piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Curly fries. I got a mushroom Swiss. So did Drake. And Damien got what? A bacon double cheeseburger.
Yep.
Yeah, he's lame. So, this place is so cool. All right, and that concludes our adventures.
Yes.
Our surprise birthday weekend. We had a great time. I can unfortunately say that was the worst meal we've had this trip.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but
I enjoyed my chicken
her
sandwich.
chicken sandwich
It
apparently was really
breaded
good.
and tastes and heavily seasoned.
I was served a mushroom Swiss burger that was an unseasoned meat pie with the seasoning was the single slice of Swiss cheese and pinch of mushrooms. And as you know, mushrooms just have a ton of flavor by themselves. And some undercooked fries. So anyway, we got a 2.5 hour drive home. We've had a great weekend, done all sorts of cool stuff. She did an awesome job planning all this and keeping it from me and surprising me. We won't do that again. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.